Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the I Am the Possible podcast experience, the place where possibilities become perspective. Guys, welcome into the space and into the place. Today, I'm so excited about sharing this bonus episode with you guys. Recently, we've taken on a new feature within this experience and within this approach to podcasting, and that is question-based podcasting. All right. Question-based podcasting. What that means is you now dictate the bonus track each week. In the description of every episode of the I Am the Possible podcast, there is a link at the very top of the description that says, text me your questions and I will answer in the next episode. So guys, if you have ever wondered, what would Treveal say about this? How would he advise me on this? What would his perspective be on this? Or I would love to hear an episode created around this topic or addressing this issue. Well, now you have that opportunity. Every week, I'm going to create a bonus track based upon your questions. And so this week, I'm going to kick it off with answering the question that just recently came in. And let me pause for a moment and say something that I think is extremely important. This is 100% anonymous. So your names will not be revealed. I'm not going to have your personal cell phone number. It doesn't give me all of that information. What it gives me is your question. I can see the question and I can post the question on the IamThePossible.com or the IamThePossiblePodcast.com. And we can see those questions posted. We do not know who they came from because that's not important because we want to keep your information anonymous. But I will then answer the question in the next bonus track episode the following week. Okay. And so please, if that's you, someone who would love to have an episode created around their question, this is a very easy way. You just literally click the link. It shoots you to text messaging. You text the question. Boom, you're done. Takes you a few seconds. I get the question and then I'll provide you the answer. All right. Sounds good. Cool. So please take advantage of that. Start today. Get your questions in. I would love to answer them for you. So this week, our question is, and here, I want to read it verbatim. I don't want to just go off of memory. I know what I'm answering. I know what the question is, but I want to just read it verbatim. So I'm heading over to my website. All right. How can a person who seems to have lost their way in life benefit from your coaching and mentoring? Again, the question is, how can a person who seems to have lost their way in life benefit from your coaching and mentoring? Okay, well, first off, and I've jotted down a few bullet points so that I don't just go on a tangent. And I can answer your question. First off, I want to thank you for submitting that question. Thank you so much for inquiring. That's a great question. Because anytime you're even considering working with someone in any capacity, you want to know what you're getting. All right. So first off, for anyone who's lost their way, you're going to get someone who has lost their way. I think that's super important. I'm just using this as an example. I'm not the 150-pound personal trainer that's telling the overweight person how they need to lose weight. I guess there is some value in that, if you just educated and you've gotten certified and you just know how to educate someone on losing weight. But I can promise you there's nothing like getting trained or coached from someone who has lived what you're living, been where you are. And so I, in my own personal life, have lost my way, been completely lost, clueless, and to myself, felt completely worthless. I tell the story all the time. There was a point in my life where I hated myself. I didn't like anything about myself. I completely rejected myself because of the environments that I grew up in and the experiences that I had. I was abused a lot as a child, physically, sexually, emotionally, you name it. Drug use, alcoholism, drug addiction, domestic violence, gangs, murder, theft, being bullied. I mean, I've either seen it all, been exposed to it all, or in many ways I've done it all. And I've been through so much drama, so much trauma in my life. I know what it means to feel completely hopeless and completely down on myself, on life, questioning where is God, feeling betrayed by loved ones, family members, feeling like I was on an island completely in this world by myself, like I didn't have anybody to go to. I've been to jail multiple times. I've been addicted to drugs. I've done it all, man, and I know what it feels like. I know what it means to be there and to go through that. And so I just wanted to start off by saying you're going to get someone who has felt the pain and who has suffered the emotional exhaustion and the toil and the just the inner wrestling and conflict with being in this world but not knowing why I'm in this world, being in this world but not liking the fact that I'm even in this world, because it doesn't seem like anyone appreciates me and everyone wants to abuse me and everyone wants to use me for something. I'm never accepted just being myself. I'm accepted only when I'm giving something or doing something for someone, and it traumatized me, right? So first and foremost, I know what that's like. Now, in terms of the coaching aspect of it, I wrote down 3 things because, again, that's a great question. I never really considered really outlining, obviously when I take on a client, we have a discovery call and we have a conversation because I'm very organic. I'm very in the moment. And so I usually just flow with the person and we discover whether or not we're a good fit. So I never actually considered this question. So this is a really dope question for me to process and consider and even document so that I can either post it online or just be prepared to explain it if anyone asks. So thank you so much again. You've actually encouraged me and you helped me out by, showing me that there's something for me to do in terms of better serving the community that I serve. Okay. So number one, everything for me is based off of my story and my skill set. I have a story and I've got a skill. Okay. My story, I've shared a lot of it just a few minutes ago, but I've got a story, meaning I've got a before and I've got an after. I've experienced a radical transformation in my own personal life. So you're going to get a person who has been on both sides, who've experienced both, who knows how to navigate both and can appreciate where you are and can value the process of assisting you from going from where you are to where you want to be. Okay. I think that's very important for you to know and for you to understand that my goal is your goal. I got into this because as I processed over the last 20 or so years, I had to go back. What was my original vision? What was the original vision that God ever gave me? What did I want to start teaching and preaching for? Why did I even get into personal development? Why did I do this to begin with? What was that initial spark of inspiration? And it was always, I didn't have a dream of my own. I wanted to help others achieve theirs. So I'm a person who is going to meet with you, speak with you, share with you, encourage you, educate you, walk with you from a perspective, from a position of how can I best serve your intention? How can I best serve getting you across your finish line? How can I best serve you getting to your mountaintop? How can I best serve you? And let me just say something else that I think is really important is because I was coached for many years myself, and I got my certification through a coaching program and through my personal mindset coach who actually started the certification program. They were really big, really big on integration and not elimination. Integrating our story, integrating our past, integrating who we were, integrating what we've been through, and knowing how to integrate that into the continuation of who we're becoming and what we're becoming and the evolution, right, and the elevation of our lives. And so I just want you to know that I'm not going to try and change you or make you something that you're not, but I'm going to appreciate where you are and who you are, and I'm going to look for ways. I'm going to pray for ways. I'm going to show up in service of how do we integrate what you've done and been through and experienced, because it all has value into who you're becoming. All right, so that's another part of my approach that I think is really important for you to understand. But my 3 P's: number one, you're going to get personalized care. In the coaching industry, there are many cookie cutter programs, cookie cutter approaches, cookie cutter skill sets. I got certified, and I've been on this journey for over 25 years, gathering information, reading, studying, getting certified, putting it into practice, living it, embodying it myself personally, so that I can be a person of integrity. I think that's super important, that I'm doing what I am sharing with you. And if I'm not doing it, then I'm not going to share it with you, right? Just as a personal standard of mine. So it's going to be personalized to you. Do I have certain concepts and frameworks and things that we are going to work through? Absolutely. But I'm going to make sure that I personalize it to you, to meet you where you are. Okay. It's going to be contribution centered. My philosophy is that God created us all to not only make a contribution, but to be literally in and of ourselves a contribution to the betterment of our society. So I see you as a contribution. You are valuable. You began in the mind of our creator, and anything that begins in the mind of a creator is in and of itself an idea. And if it is an idea, then it is not only a contributor, but it is something that holds value and purpose, because every idea represents one of two things: a solution to a problem or an answer to a question. So that is the lens in which I look at you through. You are God's idea, and I will value you as such. Number two, presence. I think that's something super important right now in our society. People are not giving you their true attention. They're not showing up and really being present in the moment. They're on their cell phone, they're daydreaming, they're multitasking, they're looking at their computer, they're cutting you off mid-sentence. They're just not really there. They're thinking 2 hours ahead, or they're concerned about the things that they just came from. And so I want you to know that I pray and I meditate and I come into our coaching sessions fully, as much as I can. I'm not perfect, but as much as I can, fully present, so that I can really hear you empathetically. I can listen. I can put myself in your shoes, and I can really consider what you're sharing. I can really hear your heart, and then I can, work with you from there. Okay, that makes sense. And then lastly, purpose-based, okay, is going to be all about purpose. I believe that you were made with purpose, for purpose, and you are here in the world on purpose, okay? And so I am a believer. I am a man of faith. I do believe that you have a creator, and that creator gave you a purpose. And so a lot of my encouragement and education is filtered through that reality. You have a purpose. So many times coaches will listen to someone and the person may say, well, I want to get a new job. And it's like, okay, great. Let's just get you any job that we can get you. In certain contexts, that's necessary. If you just need money like ASAP and you just need to start working, that might be necessary for you. However, there's a deeper level where it says, what are you purposed to do? What are your particular skill sets? What is your competencies? What are your abilities? What are your natural giftings? What are your spiritual giftings? What is your natural bend in life? What are you best suited for, right? there has to be some level of enjoyment in your employment, right? Just as an example. And the way that we find the enjoyment, right, what actually gives us life is by aligning, and this is one of the principles that I teach, aligning our career with our contribution, which is really the purposes for which God created you. So I help you to discover those purposes, which is AKA your contribution. And then I help you to craft a character for yourself, right? Who you are, who God's created you to be. We're going to work on your self-concept, the things you see in yourself, and we're going to work on your conversations, the things you say to yourself. Okay. And so we're going to radically improve your concept and your conversations so that you can communicate with yourself better, with God better, with others better. And it's going to lead to a congruency and alignment between career and contribution, which is going to give you a different level of confidence, clarity, and consistency in everything that you create in the world. I hope and pray that makes sense. Again, I'm just going off the cuff. Just wanted to give you some flavor. So to the person that submitted that question, I hope and pray that you got a hold of this episode, that what I've just shared makes sense to you. And yeah, if you're interested in getting with me as a coach, I would love to get on that discovery call and see if we're a good fit, and see if this is something that can work for the both of us. All right. So click the link in this description for coaching. You can go there, submit your information, and you can schedule a discovery call with me, and we can move forward. Okay. To everyone else that's just listening, I hope and pray that they gave you some insight. Maybe you were considering working with me. Maybe you were thinking about getting a coach. It's at the end of the year. We're going into 2026, and you've been doing everything your way and it's not working out. You keep starting and stopping, and you're like, yo, I need somebody in my corner. I need someone that can work with me. And what you just shared sounds pretty good. Sign me up. So yeah, to anyone that's watching and listening, please click the link below. Schedule a quick discovery call. There's no strings attached, no upselling, no hidden agenda. I'm not going to try to sell you anything. I'm not going to try to get you into some upper level tier $50,000 a month coaching program. I don't play those games. We're just going to have a conversation. And if it works for you, awesome. If it doesn't work for you, awesome. Because I'm not for everybody, right? So there's someone there that's in the world that can help you. And it may not be me, but if we don't get on a call, we'll never know. So that's kind of my approach to it. All right. Love you guys. Praying for you guys. Believing in you guys. This has been a bonus track of the I Am the Possible podcast experience, the place where possibilities become perspective. And I is your host, Treveal C. W. Lynch, Mr. What? And I just, yeah, man, just hope and pray that you guys have an amazing, amazing week. All right, that is it. Until next time, remember, the better we can relate to ourselves, the better we can create for ourselves, and most importantly, those around us. You, yes, you are the possible. Isn't it time you began to see it? God bless you.